vehicle you see right behind me is the all-new Kia Telluride, and this is by far the best value SUV with a third row as a standard option, because the Telluride has an entry price that is $35,000, and that to me is extremely reasonable and well value. Now this one with all the bells and whistles does come close to being more of $54,000 option. Here's the window sticker if you want to pause and see what other options this in particular model has. But online I did look at Kia's website and I built like the standard one, like the EX version, and it's around $40,000 and includes all the important bells and whistles, at least for my standards. But after daily driving this vehicle, here are some interesting features that the Kia Telluride has to offer. So this is the 2023 model, so it does receive the new fascia update. You do see that it does have new LED headlights, which are now standard no matter the trim level you select. And you do have LED fog lamps still right down here. Of course, you have the brand new Kia emblems right here, front and rear, and the cool, I guess, Tiger Grill style grill. Now this is a press vehicle, and the color that this car has in particular, like this off gray creamy color, is actually called wolf gray, which I think is pretty awesome. Now this Telluride is using the all new Kia smart key fob, which looks like this. The buttons are now located on the side, which is quite nice due to the fact that if you're wearing this in your back pocket, you won't accidentally mispress anything. Everything is controlled right here, and the Kia emblem right here actually does illuminate to give you feedback that it did receive and send that signal to the vehicle. And most importantly, you do have a remote start with this trim level. So this one the Kia allowed me to use for one whole week is the top of the line. So it's the X line, which automatically has fully mirrors, and on top here you actually have full roof rails right here for luggage and such. You do have a rear wiper blade right here, but everything else is pretty similar to all the other new 2023 versions because the exhaust tip is still located on an angle, and this does have a towing capacity up to 5,000 pounds. And if we peek underneath, you do have a spare wheel right here, which is quite nice now that manufacturers are no longer really including that. Now power wise, this is powered by a naturally aspirated V6 that puts out 291 horsepower and 261 pound-feet of torque. A front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive option is available. This one is the all-wheel drive model, and it's comboed with an 8-speed Kia automatic transmission. Acceleration 0-60 is rated anywhere between 6 to 7 seconds I've seen online. MPG, it's not bad, 18 city and about 24 on highway. For my real-world usage, I'm averaging about 19. So inside the car, this is where things really do shine, because this thing is actually really large on the inside, believe it or not. Even though from the exterior it doesn't look like it seems to be that big of a large SUV, but in the back here there's two captain seats, as you can see right there. A single row is also available, but in the very back there I actually have room for myself. I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about displays, technology and stuff first. So this does have the brand new 12.3 inch Kia display. This is something that we've been seeing in other Kia models. This one has it. CarPlay, Android Auto. Unfortunately in the US is not wireless. Maybe in the near future a wireless version will come available. And you find your ports right down here. This part just opens up. You have USB-A, USB-C, a 12-volt outlet, and wireless C charging as well. And for the 2023s compared to the older models, they made this section bigger too, so it could hold more. And you also have your climate controls right here. Sorry, I was struggling with that. Heated steering wheel. Everything's pretty basic, but the cool thing about the Telluride, these dots right here simulate each passenger seat, so it can actually show you who's wearing their seatbelt and who's not. So that's what these dots are there for. It's kind of cool. Also, you got your navigation shortcuts right here: map, radio, media. Don't want to get copyright. You get the drift. And same media system we've been reviewing in the past with other Kia models as well as Hyundai's. If you select map, you can actually multitask by having this little other additional slider right here. It will get you additional information. And then the display right here also is customizable. It's all controlled with this little knob, which is your mode selector. So if we actually go ahead and switch between the different modes that this car can provide, you have a smart, which allows the vehicle to adapt to your terrain, your environment, how you're driving. And then sport, comfort, eco, and you do have snow. Now in sport mode, the steering wheel does tighten. It gives you more aggressive feedback while you're driving. And then it also has a heads-up display right there. It's kind of hard to see broad daylight, but it does have that heads-up display, which is amazing. And new for Kia models, this rearview mirror actually is a camera rearview mirror as well, which you go ahead and toggle on and off. Super helpful, especially if you have a full row of passengers back here and their heads blocking the visibility. You can just toggle this so you can see it all. Now, interesting for the Telluride is it does have a panoramic sunroof right there for the rear passengers. It's not open, but this part does have a slider to close and seal it, but it just doesn't open all the way up compared to the driver's side. The driver's side just has a standard moonroof. As you can see, this one actually does open, and you manually can close this if you want. And the headliner is like an Alcantara type of material. It's not real Alcantara, but gives you that realism as if it is the official one, something you see like on a Tesla or higher end vehicles. Full mirrors. Then you got your standard shift knob. Now this does have Kia's Highway Assist 2.0, which is like a super advanced cruise control. I've used it a couple times, pretty satisfying. It's not fully hands-free, you still have to have your hand on the wheel while you're driving with it engaged, but it does a really good job on keeping distance away from the car in front of you and adapting to tight, twisty roads. 2 memory seats as well, and you have your manual folded mirrors, which do have auto blind spot monitoring that shows on your side rear mirrors, as well as your heads-up display. And when you toggle the turn signals, you have a visibility of your blind spot right here as well. And then this does have 360 cameras, which once you enable, you can override it right here, but you can switch between the different views that it also offers, like this cool like AR ability where you can actually see the surroundings in live time. It's something you expect to find on high-end premium cars like Bentleys and BMWs, but it's good to know that even other everyday cars are now receiving this, which is fantastic. This is a great value right here. And then glove box, your standard size, typical glove box, cup holders on both doors, and nice grippy arm handles right here for your driver and passenger side, something you'll typically see on the Porsche, and cool and heated seats as well. So these seats are ventilated, and you get premium pedals too for a car. But in terms of everything else, the material is squishy, so it's not like hard plastic. This is not real metal, but feels nice to touch. This is a cold to touch, so this is some type of aluminum, I'll suggest, but everything else is pretty nice. I like the stitching on the seats, as well as the X-line imprint right here. Automatic front and driver seats, as well as lumbar support, as well as this section right here, we could also extend. But it's the back side again that really wows me. So you do have foldable armrests right here for the front 2 captain seats. And back here, Kia says if you move the seat back or forward, you do have about 41 inches of leg room. And the seating position is exactly the same where I last left it, and I have plenty of leg room right here. And you also have this cool folding compartment, some attachments. You could put like a bag or something. And you do have a fast USB-C port right here, as well as a household outlet port right here if you have to charge a laptop or something like that. And then 12-volt outlets, cup holders, and the rear seats for both these 2 captain seats are ventilated and heated, which is really premium. And you do have your peasant guards right here, peasant blockers I should say, to give you additional privacy. Your AC controls are located right here. You can turn it on and off, and the controls for the temperature are located right down here. I don't know why it's on high, putting at the cool because the top back here. You can leave it on auto, and you can adjust the fan speed from here as well. Really nice. I like that design that Kia integrated on the ceiling. I'm really wowed away was this center point right here. So there is a hump right here, but it's not ridiculously high. It's actually nice and spread out. And if I go ahead and hop in the back, it is tight to get back here. I actually have decent amount of space. I have a lot of good head space right here, just like the driver and passenger side. And my legs, they're not, I don't have to do this or anything like that. I could actually have them straight. Yes, somewhat uncomfortable if I'm a long distance drive, but I do have this center island right here where I put my foot if I really have to. And I'm just surprised how much headspace I have back here though. Both this side and that side. And if you do have a little one, there is a little very small seat right there as well. But the view back here was the panoramic sunroof open Looks really nice and pleasant. It's not bad, and I can see the driver point of view pretty well from here as well. Visibility wise, I like these big gorgeous windows. You do have USB-C ports right here, as well as cup holders for both right and left side, and vents as well, so I'm not back here dying. But let's go ahead and take a look at the cargo space we have back here. So I did went ahead and already took delivery of folding out all the seats to give you a general idea how that looks like. This is a little privacy screen visor that's comes with this trim version, which actually attaches on like so, but you have to remove it if you want the third row seat up, which is why I have it all set like this, because I don't have space for this right now. Unfortunately, there's no way to store this inside the vehicle unless you just have it out inside the storage compartment. But here's the numbers of the space you have back here, and in addition to that, you do have additional storage right down here as well. Now this tailgate does have an auto close tailgate, which is super interesting, because if you look on top of here, there's two additional buttons. One is your standard close and open tailgate type of function. The other one is an on and off button. The on and off function is there because there's a sensor back here that will actually allow this tailgate to automatically search and see there's no object underneath. When there's no object underneath, it will actually self-close itself without you having to actually press on any buttons. It's really interesting. Alright, so here we are, about to drive off in the Telluride. Just an interesting name in general, in my opinion. Telluride. Alright, I'm getting off track, but we have a full tank of gas. And driving experience, driving's really smooth. It does hold 19 gallons of fuel, which is not bad. A full tank could give you close to 400 miles under a single tank. I was about to say charge. Sorry, I've been driving EVs too much lately. Visibility across everywhere else, really good. You got large side view rear mirrors. Steering wheel's pretty comfortable, really satisfying to use. But it's no sport car. There is a lot of like weight shifting when you're making fast turns. Sorry if I'm like hesitating, it's just a bunch of people are stopping in an area they should not be stopping. But even in the intelligent mode, it does get up and go pretty quickly. Immersion on the highway feels really nice, it's satisfying, has enough confidence that I feel like easily take on or overtake vehicles that are driving slow and such. You know, make those safe passes here and there. With all the sun visors open, it does allow a lot of natural light to come in, which is awesome. The interior cabin is pretty quiet to the most part. You do hear a lot of like tire road noise and stuff, but this could just be because the terrain tires that we're using are all terrain. And if you're going off-roading, you do have the capability to lock your axle. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to end the video right here, so I'm just going to give you my overall conclusion. It's a nice, practical, everyday car for a family that doesn't want to buy a van or a large SUV. This is like the sweet spot when it comes to like the next level to this would be like a GMC Yukon or a Tahoe. But if you live in the city or find yourself in an environment where parking is a pain in the butt, this is the optimal size when it comes to driving and parking in like a tight city, maybe something like Seattle or San Francisco even. Third row voted up. I was actually comfortably able to sit back there without having my legs crossed in some odd angle just to make everything feel right and have the blood flow going through my legs still. I could sit in the third row pretty comfortably. Not sure about long road trips, but I can fit there, which is something you don't really see in a lot of vehicles. I know some GMC Yukons didn't have that much leg room, and Yukons are much bigger than this thing, and this is able to deliver a much more a better sitting experience on the third row. So not bad Kia in this Telluride. It's pretty comfortable and an excellent value if you do need a third row in your car. Anyways, if you'd like to check out another Kia model, unfortunately there's no plug-in or hybrid version of the Telluride, which is a shame. So the next choice will probably be the Nero. I actually review a Nero, the EV version, but it's also available in the plug-in as well as a hybrid, and gets an excellent MPG range and similar space, just you don't have a third row. If you'd like to find out more about that vehicle, I have it right there on the A card. Aside from that, thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.